This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to use an oil extractor to do an oil change on this 2009 Jetta TDI. Now, first thing you want to do is warm up the engine a little bit, just so you can get the oil warm and more viscous so it flows better. So, first step after warming up the oil is to take off the top cover. And there's 4 snaps, which you just have to lift up and pull this off. So here's the 3 things you need to know when doing an oil extractor, or the 3 parts you need to have access. You've got the oil fill, you've got the oil filter, and you've got the dipstick. So what the oil extractor does, and here it is, you stick this tube down the oil dipstick, and then you apply vacuum. It will suck through into this canister. That way you don't have to go under the car. Now this method is really only useful if you have a top mounted oil filter. If you need to get under the car for an oil filter, you're not saving much time, if at all anything. So that's why in this car particularly, it's really helpful just to have this oil extractor method, because it has a top mount filter. So we've got the, got to take this off, this cap for the oil. Now it's usually on there pretty tight, so you got to use a little bit of muscle, right? Put that off to the side. Then we have to suck the oil out. So remove the dipstick. Now we take the tube and shove it all the way down. Okay. Now it's not going in any further. So what we'll do is we'll start applying vacuum. Okay, vacuum is getting pretty hard to use, and you'll see that here the oil is coming in now. Okay, so next, while this continues to drain, we need to get to the oil filter. Now I'm using a 1 1/4 inch socket, and it just goes right on the top of here, and then lefty loosey. Now once I've got it broken loose with the breaker bar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this wobble and adapters just to ratchet it a little faster. Alright, at this point I can spin it by hand. You're going to want to have a little bit of paper towel or a rag. Okay, so here's my old filter. Oh, it looks pretty bad. Alright, so what you want to do is pull, get the top piece off. So the new filter I'm using is a MAN HU719. Looks like this. You're also going to want to take off this little rubber O-ring and replace it with a new one. Just grab some needle nose pliers, grab that old one, take it off, and just slip the new one over. Alright, now attach the oil filter again, and that's it. Now we'll wait until the oil finishes draining. Now the one downside to this method is it does take a long time for all the oil to get sucked out, but it's probably saves you some effort rather than jacking up the car and then having to get the oil plug off. And for me, unfortunately, my oil plug is stripped and it won't rotate. So the problem is it's completely off. I would have to get it taken out. It's way more effort than it's worth, honestly. As when you, on this model engine, when you replace the oil plug, you need to get a new crush washer anyway. And so this is just a lot simpler and easier. This is the first time, honestly, I'm trying the oil extractor, but I think it's going to be pretty nice with top mounted filters. Occasionally you may have to reapply more vacuum. Alright, we're going to reinstall the filter. This goes down and in. Start it by hand tightening it, just so you make sure you get the thread right. Okay. Now we wait until it finishes draining and we'll come back and fill it up. So when you know it's done is when you'll start hearing this noise. And really, it's kind of the same thing when you have a drink and a straw and you get to the bottom and you're just picking up that last little bit. Let's just give it a couple more pumps. We'll pull this out, put the dipstick back, and then start topping it off. Okay, now we have to fill the oil. So for this engine, one of the few oils available to buy online, affordable, is this Castrol Edge Professional LL03. It's a 5W30 full synthetic motor oil. I've been ordering these on Amazon in what comes in boxes of 6, and I always have a little bit left over each time I do it. So now the easy part. If you so choose, you can use a funnel. This engine takes about 4 liters of oil, so when you get close to it, start to slow down and check the dipstick. At this point, I'm going to start checking. So grab your rag or paper towel, clean off the dipstick, put it back down. Wait a second, pull it out, and I am pretty full. Check one more time. Pretty full. Now you do want to avoid overfilling, and what we'll do is we will rev up, put the cap back on, rev up just to get the oil circulated through the fuel filter, and it should bring the oil level down just a little bit. Alright, now we'll come back to the dipstick, clean it off. And yep, we've got good level of oil. A little bit on the high side, but with a higher mileage car like this, it does tend to burn a little bit over time. And so will take care of that. Now, all we have to do is put the cover back on. Just put the cover back on, right onto the snaps, and push down. Now, to properly dispose of the oil, you need to use the attachment here, and I like to just use the old empty bottles. We can use the funnel for this, and just pour the old oil out. Remember, properly dispose of used oil. You can't just throw it away. You must have it sent back to a place that accepts oil for recycling. Alright, and that's about it. So, I hope you liked this video. I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, stick around. More videos are to come. Alright, peace.